Okay, one of those obligatory answers now. But before I give the answers, I want to ask, what are the importance of these questions? But I'd like to give the answers anyway. I was just wondering about girlfriend. I've never had a girlfriend here in America. Never. But in my entire life, when I was in fourth year high school, before jumping to college, I had a an experience of it, and I knew of it in a different level of what it was about, because I knew how I felt and I had complete control of my faculties. And it was at that time when, parents were talking and wanted their daughters to be with someone safe and all that, jumping to college and going to the university, far from home, and wanted to pair their daughters with guys they trusted. And so it lasted only for 7 months. And because my spirit cannot have that kind of a relationship, I can definitely get along with all of my creatures, but not that level, because that would be very, very wrong. And nevertheless, I got a chance to experience it just for the sake of secretly in my thoughts, when I have heard what they were thinking, what they were intending, to be able to keep an eye on their daughter. But nobody could win against their daughter because she was just feisty as a monster. Then, question number 2. What did I do for work? And I've got another video already about this as well. But I'd like to elaborate it more. And I think what you might be asking, and I'll take this opportunity anyway to address that maybe this is what you meant, is the occupations which I have chosen along the way. In secret, in my thoughts within, with my spirits and my mind alone, I have always made sure that what I needed to learn in spirit can be obtained with the occupation that I am doing first. Because second would be, acquaintances with others in daily lives and daily functions. But I thought of making you more efficient, that since I would need to be a slave for a little bit anyway, then I might as well use that as opportunity to learn things for my spirit. And so I started working with Washington Mutual Bank, and it was about people owning. Because, when you sign your name, it's between your life, your spirit, and their money. I got to learn about that for a year, and then after that I worked at an insurance company here in California. And because insurance company is basically just having people to surrender their tool, which is the money, in advance for the worry of being sick. But being sick comes from within, from the spirit. And so I needed to learn why the constant and uneasiness of the future about their health. They also wanted you to worry about your death. What happens when you die? It's money that can save everything. I needed to see all of that. And then within the insurance company, I moved to different positions. And first it was about data entry. Then after that, I became a medical underwriter, dealing with their health, why they're paying that much. Then after that, within the same company, I went to data migration. They're dealing with the records, moving it from one system to another, an upgrade. And then after that, within the same company, I jumped onto the telephony, which ultimately would be. And then, unfortunately for that position, I accepted the position. And then when I was given the letter being accepted, I had to resign the next day because I wanted not only to be in the office, and so I got a contracting occupation. I was a contractor and I traveled dealing with telephony still. And this was the time when you see there's a lot of jumps there from one thing to another. And as I am making it as an explanation here, there was no time for school. So how would I have known telephony? Right. So that's what you call the Holy Spirit. Or you call the Akashic records. That's my records. You just have to open it up. And when I need it, I got it. It's much better and faster than your Google search when I need to know. And it's much more efficient as well. And then, while I was a contractor, I said, well, okay. I rested for a bit because there was a time when I got laid off because we were done with the things to be done. And then another insurance company, a bigger one, that provides insurance and as well as the healthcare provision, the ministering of the healthcare itself, as their telephony person as well. There were only 3 of us who could do what I had to do. And that was the time when, after the data migration, then I had to deal with people calling in, asking for help. The telephony, it's a call center set up in a massive operations, and both for providers and health insurance. But it is for the entire company itself, the HR, the doctors, the nurses, the call centers, the offices that are within that system, because the goal was to unify their system. You see that? And so all these things that I have been going through in the occupations that I have chosen here in flesh, it given me the perspective of how the spirits would react to changes. Because it is one thing to upgrade the changes, but to upgrade the system, to upgrade the changes. It is one thing to upgrade the system, but it is another to be able to accept the changes. And it is that second that I wanted to see more and more now in the dealings with the spirit, the consciousness. And it is a very efficient way to use the time of existence. And then along the way now, I am not in that realm anymore, because I have to face my whole creations and my spirit. My ego and my Father's spirit had switched positions. So here you are speaking with the All Father. And I am just jumping in here right now as me, as my ego, to provide what we have done as ourselves, because it's mind, body, and spirit. And so, if I was to enslave my spirit right now, and just for the sake of the money, then the perfect occupation for me right now would be a garbage collector or a janitor or a gardener. And it will not have anything to do with cars or any technology, but straight up to the basics of the things that I have created. And so that's what I used to do as work. For Cologne, now another for the third one, I have already packed all of my things, and so I won't be able to show it like this on the camera, but I used to wear it because in the contact center you would just be engulfed with, you know, if people wanted to talk, because these are the people who really wanted to talk, and they just wanted to talk, and they just wanted to complain about their telephone as well and something like that. And so I wear really strong cologne. They don't like heavy smell, but I wear the Tom Ford. It's the effing fabulous. And then I had the light smell of, it's the white bottle, the square, the sky. And then I had the black one that I used to, the leather ombre I use for winter. And car freshener when I still had my cars. And then the Armani Code, and then something del Sol de Janeiro, the cologne. And then, so for this next one, it's more of an overall. So it is whether I've had a relationship here in America. Yes, I had 4 partners, my boyfriends. I had Mikael, that was his middle name. And then I had Gabriel. I'm not kidding you. And I had Jesus, his middle name. I really am not joking you at all. And because you see your name, you didn't even choose your name. That's given to you. Those were my relationships here, from whom I have learned from. And they better have learned from me too. And checklists.